be wondering why I do this go live so often. And I do it because I want you all to know that whatever I would say to you, I would say to anybody else. It's like I'm just doing something, behind the scenes somehow. But nope, whatever I would say to you, I would say to anybody else. Also, it keeps me honest in case somebody says, Larry said some evil thing. No, I actually have the receipts still here. So anyway, for those of you, those who are watching, if you guys would clap. Thank you. Yes, thank you. We are here in Poughkeepsie, New York, in Dutchess County, and this is the end of one of my trips that I spent crossing the state, the full Sharpe, covering every single county in New York State, all 62. This is the 6th time I have crossed the state, and I do it every year, which is why I'm able to say that I understand what's happening in the state, because I keep meeting people and talking about the issues that matter to them. What politician would spend their time? What activist would spend their time? What candidate would spend their time crossing the state when they're not running? I'm the one. Yes, I'm the one. I'm the one who still wants you to understand that I still care, even though I lost, that it still matters to me, even though I'm not out here all of a sudden begging for your votes. It still matters to me. I'm still out here. I love this beautiful state, and all of you who are still here do also. You know how amazing it is, and you know what's actually happening. It's being destroyed by an over-oppressive government that literally breaks up families and sends people into other states instead of letting them stay here. We know that to be true. As I've crossed this state, I've heard people tell me lots of things, lots of problems and issues and concerns. And I'd ask you a question. The Democrats have been in control of this state for about 20 years. Why haven't they fixed the problems? The Republicans have been watching the Democrats fail in this state for 20 years. Where's their plan? No plan, no repairs. You know one guy who has a plan? The guy you're talking to right now. The plans I've been talking about to fix this state that I've been discussing for literally 5 years. And here's the worst part of it all. They all know that I have plans. How do I know that they know I have plans? Well, did any of you happen to punish yourselves and watch Kathy Hochul's inaugural address? If any of you did, you recognize one thing. She used my talking points in her address. She used yes, she did. You remember, she used my talking points in her address and my talking points in her acceptance speech when she won the nomination in the Democratic Party. What does that mean? It means our governor's reading my website. No, it doesn't. She's probably not. But it does mean that her team is. Her team reads my website. So her team knows all of the plans that I've been speaking about because they're on my website. They've been on my website for 5 years. They know. And still they won't fix. Because they don't have to. Because they don't need to. Because as long as they keep saying there's problems, you have to keep coming back to them again and again and again. Now, I know the answer, but Larry, you don't understand. Now the Republicans, people are going to get sick and tired and vote for the Republicans. They're going to come in and save us. The Republicans have not won a statewide election in this state. Nothing, not senator, not governor, not AG, in 22 years. Let me say it again. Not one election in 22 years. This state's getting bluer, not redder. We're losing 300,000 people every single year. Most of those are people who would not be voting for Kathy Hochul. Otherwise, they'd be staying, wouldn't they? They're leaving. It's just getting worse. This state will go gold before it will go red. That's a fact. This state will go gold before it will go red. Well, Larry, if you're so smart, then why don't the Republicans just pick you? Well, they should have. They should have. But you're assuming the Republicans want to fix something. If they did, they would have a plan. They don't want to fix anything. What they want is to retain their grift. Now, I warned you all of this. If you remember what I said, I told you that Lee Zeldin cannot win, that he would never win. It is impossible. But so many of you believed him and said, well, this is the year. I said, the numbers don't match up. We are almost 3-1 Democrats, Republican. Right? And what do Democrats hate way more than libertarians? Republicans. Man, Democrats hate Republicans. Republicans hate Democrats. They want to vote for each other. How do I know that? Because 25% of the people who voted for me in 2018 were registered Democrats. Democrats will vote for me. They won't vote for Republicans. They just won't show up. How do I know that? Over 500,000 people voted less this election 2022 than 2018. 500,000 people didn't show up. They said, why bother? Kathy Hochul is one of the most unimpressive, unpopular governors we've ever had, and she still won. And she didn't run a campaign. She did not run a campaign. She took $20 million and said, thank you very much, and went off to work, and still won. We can make this happen. The Republicans don't want to. And I warned you, I told you that Lee Zeldin, what he would do, he'll be mad if he hears this. If you're watching, Lee, sorry. This is still true. I told you all that he knows he's going to lose. He will raise a bunch of money. He is lying to you. And within 2 to 3 months, he'll be running a PAC. Remember I told you that? What's he doing now? Running a PAC. That's correct. Yes, exactly what I told you he'd be doing. I told you Nick Langworthy was lying to you, as he lied to you, the chair of the Republican Party. Yeah, I told you he was lying to you, that he knew he couldn't win, that he was going to find a way to grift and to scam. And what did he do? He did. He found an exact way to scam, decided in the last minute, all the money he raised, lying to Republicans in his state, he was going to use that money so he could beat Cuomo, because he said it when Cuomo was still governor. He's going to use to beat Kathy Hochul. He took that money and used it for his congressional campaign. Now he's congressman. They're set up. The Republican leadership in this state is set. How are the Republicans in this state? Broken, disheartened, ready to pack up and ready to leave and grab the U-Haul and take off and head down south. That's where they are right now. None of them got any better. They believe the lie again. But I'd ask you, what are Democrats? Where are they? Are they better off? No. They're still bad too, broken, disheartened. They just know, well, I guess the Democrat won, not the Republican, I guess. Nobody's winning except the elites in this state. When I was getting my butt kicked by the courts last year, I actually spoke in my defense, and I told the judges, I said, you are creating an aristocracy in this state to where only the elites can run and have power and everyone else is devastated. And they were like, we're the elite. We don't care. Bye. Get out. They didn't care. I literally told them, you are creating an elite. You are creating an aristocracy. In 2018, when I ran, there were 5 people running. I was the only one not getting a government check. Everybody else was getting a government check. Think about that. Last year, when they ran, I was the only one trying to run outside of the 2 major. I wasn't getting a government check. Both of them were getting government checks. Both of them were literally hired by the state and the federal government, getting paid to run, using your taxpayer dollars to run. That's where we are right now. We are creating an aristocracy across this country that nobody can run unless they're already elected. How do you get elected? You get selected by your party. Know what I said? Not elected by your party, selected by your party. Your party selects you, then you get into a gerrymandered district where you're guaranteed to win. So now we don't even have democracy anymore. We simply have parties selecting who's going to win. I know it's a Democratic place, and you're my buddy, so I'm going to make you the Democratic nominee, so you win, which means you're the next guy who wins because it's a gerrymandered district. And what did our judges do? Nothing. Nothing. Not a thing. I speak about this constantly. The system's broken. How are you going to fix it? By voting harder. You can really write that Republican in hard, or really write that Democrat in hard. Nothing's going to change. You can really, I'm going to color that circle so deep. Doesn't matter. There must be a third party. But the answer I get all the time is, but Larry, God, come on. You know you can't win. You know you can't win. Let's say you're right. Let's say I can't win. Right now, what happened last time in 2022? The Republican lost again, came in second. And what changed? Nothing. Imagine if I'd come in second. Just imagine for a second. Think in your heart right now. If Larry Sharpe, the libertarian, came in second in New York State, everything I talk about would be mainstream news right now. All the things I discuss. Fixing property tax. I talk about it all the time. Fixing income tax. I talk about it all the time. Fixing crime, homelessness, family court. I speak about it all the time. Nobody else does. I do. So now I'm sadly talking to dozens of people when I should be speaking to millions. And if I were to come in second, I'd be speaking to millions. So we get change if I just come in second. Just second. But not just that. I come in second. Again, I'm not even about winning. I just come in second. How many people are now inspired to run locally? Oh my God, Larry came in second. I could do something locally. So now we get a mayor, we get an alderman, we get a councilman, we get a school board, we get something. And now we make change locally because of that. And now when I show up, people know who I am and the press comes with me. Larry, you're making that up. I'm not. That's what happened in 2019. I'm not talking about stuff I made. I'm talking about stuff that happened. 2019, after we had got ballot access, we had 107 victories in this state, 2019. That was me cross the state again. I cross every year, and I supported local candidates. And they got press, and they got money, and they won. Local level. We can do it again. So how do we do that? We do it by fighting again. I know some of you are like, damn, Larry, when are you going to get tired? When are you going to stop? I don't know, not yet. Not today. That's what I will tell you. Not today. Not yet. I am a Marine sitting here in a VFW, and I will always keep fighting as long as I have the means to resist. That is in my code of conduct. And I will follow my code of conduct. And as long as I have the means to resist, I will continue to resist. I told libertarians in this state last year that we had a lot of problems. And many of us dropped our rifles. Many of us fell down. Many of us ran. I'm asking you all to go pick up your rifle again. I picked up mine. I picked up mine. Some of you got mad at me. Some of you yelled at me. Some of you called me names. Some of you told me, oh, I can't vote for you. I got to vote for Lee Zeldin because he's going to win this time. Yep, you're laughing. You know they all said it. All is forgiven. Pick up your rifle. All is forgiven. Pick up your rifle. I need you. I need you now. We're going back into the breach once more. We have to do this again. I told you in 2018, I would break a hole in the wall, but you have to follow me through. I couldn't do that in 2022. The wall was too deep. I didn't have enough bodies. I couldn't do it. We will do it again. We will break that hole again, and you all must follow me through. We will do it again. We can. We're going to raise money from now until April 1st. So we have enough money and bodies and volunteers so that we can actually go out there April of next year and get enough signatures to get back on the ballot again. We'll have enough money to fight because we will get sued. The amazing, awesome Republican Party in this state sued me off the ballot last year because they care so much, I guess. So they won't be able to this year. They won't, I'm sorry, next, they won't be able to. Because when how to deal with it, because I learned, when you get your butt kicked and you don't learn anything, you just took an ass whipping. But when you get your butt kicked, you learn something, now it's a lesson. I learned my lesson, often the hard way, but I do learn my lesson. They won't be able to do that to us again this time. We'll have the money and the time and the energy and knowledge to stop them in court. And then they get the 2% we need at least, if not more, so that we're on the ballot for 2026. If we're in the ballot for 2026, for us in this party, it is a winnable race. Let me repeat that one more time. If we are on the ballot in 2026, this is a winnable race. It's a winnable race. The Republicans will have two options. Finally be smart and back me, or come in third. That'll be their choice. But they'll pick what they want. Odds are they'll want to come in third because they're hard-headed and they'll do that. But I don't care. They can back me in. We can win this damn thing. But it doesn't matter. We'll make impact. Why would you care if you are a Democrat or Republican? Why would you say, Larry, I'm not going to, you crazy third-party people, you crazy libertarians, why do I want to do this? I'll tell you why. If you want better Democrats and better Republicans, you want a third party. Even if you're a Democrat, I'm a Democrat. If you're a Democrat, you don't like Kathy Hochul. How do I know? Nobody likes Kathy Hochul. I live in New York City, full of Democrats. They don't like, no one likes her. They vote for her because she's not a Republican. That's why they vote for her. That's the reason. I got it. She knows that too. So I'd ask you, if you're a Democrat, if you're watching, you're a Democrat. No Democrats watch. If you're here and you're a Democrat, are you happy with what you're getting? Of course you're not. You're not getting what you want. If you're a Republican in this state, you're getting what you want? Of course you're not. You're unhappy. Everybody's unhappy. But imagine if someone like a Kathy Hochul actually had to have someone she's held accountable to. Imagine if Democrats had to worry that if I don't vote for the Democrat, I could vote for the Libertarian or any other third party to be forward with you. Imagine if that was the case. Well, what happens? She has to actually do what her constituents want. Imagine Republicans had to do what their constituents want. That would change everything. Think about all you people who are watching who are in New York State, who are in local areas in New York State. For those of you who may be watching who are not in New York State, most of the counties are actually red, Republican. Most of them are outside the cities. Most are. Are the Republicans doing a good job in your county? No. No, they are not. Why should they? They're going to win no matter what. They don't care. You think there's always going to be a Democrat going to control Wyoming County all of a sudden? It's not going to happen. They know it. They don't act right either. A third party keeps a check on every other party. I'll go one step further. Larry, if you win the governorship, you can't do anything. You won't own anything. You can't run anything. Oh, I can. Our Senate's almost 50-50. 4 to 5 people change to become libertarians. We run the Senate with a swing vote. Remember that. When there's 3 parties, the swing vote matters. We run the Senate. Think about that. We decide what happens and what comes to the governor, don't we? So yeah, we can. We can change this state. We can make actual change in the state. We get a third party running. And then you might say, so, but Larry, I'm not libertarian enough for you. Maybe you're not. It's fine. It's fine. I believe in localism. I say it all the time. Local people will select local people that they will endorse how they see fit. And certain areas are going to want more libertarians who are a bit more left-leaning, Brooklyn. Some are going to want a bit more right-leaning, right? Something like that, you know, Allegheny County. Someplace like that, right? They might want a little bit of that, and that's fine. Let them. I'm okay with that. You guys pick locally. I will say the same thing. What will save our country, what will save our state, what will save our counties is localism. It's the only way we live together. It's the only way we survive together is by having the number one thing, respect for each other. Respect that we don't always agree. It's okay. But I tell you what, you do you, I'll do me, and we'll be happy. That's what we can do. And I would ask you, is there anyone else saying that? No. Is there anyone even talking about that? No. What they talk about is, if you ask a Republican, how do I fix a problem? Can someone talk about a problem that they have in New York State? Any problem that's bothering you?
Mandates.
I'm sorry?
Mandates.
Are they really happening now still?
No, not currently.
I mean now, a current problem. I love your problem, but that's happening right now. It's not a problem that's happening right now. Go ahead.
The illegal immigrants coming in.
Migrants, I love that. Yeah, so illegal immigrants are coming in, right? If you ask a Republican, what Republican tell you? Damn Democrats, Biden in the wall, he doesn't build a wall, Biden's terrible, Democrats are evil. That's all he'll tell you. Got to get rid of Biden. That's what he'll tell you. What will a Democrat say? Trump hates immigrants. Why do you hate immigrants? We should get more money. Why don't you give me more money? I'll tax it. We'll find an answer. More money, more money, more money. So let's say. What did I say? I remember what my plan was for immigrants? Anybody remember? Anybody remember my plan for immigrants? Remember?
The Ellis Island.
That is correct. That is correct. My plan is not to yell at the other or to try to build a wall or open our border. My plan is we should have vibrant immigration that is controlled with the border. You can do both. It can be done. Who's saying that? Nobody. Nobody. I'm saying at a federal level, you put 2 Ellis Islands, one in Texas, one in California, run by 2 separate private companies. All the government does is lease the land out. It's not involved in it at all. Leases the land out. It collects a check. Recruitment companies take it right now, vet the people who want to come, put them into any state that opts into the actual businesses who want them right now. In New York State, literally in New York State, hundreds of hospitality industry people and agriculture industry people are dropping millions of dollars in the black market to bring people here. If you know the farming industry, you know it's true. There's guys do it all the time. Stop using the black market. Pay these guys straight up. Bring it in. But Larry, what about bad guys? Bad guys aren't going to go through the Ellis Islands because you're vetted. They won't go through the Ellis Island. They'll still be trying to cross the border. So what do? We now use our current border agents that right now are being babysitters, and instead of having them go get bad guys. Wouldn't that be a good idea? Now they're getting bad guys. How much extra taxpayer dollar is that? Oh, right, none. Not a dime. In fact, we make money because we lease the land and the companies pay the government. We make money with this plan. We don't pay extra. We make money with it. Who's talking about that? Nobody. Larry, I don't like your plan. Awesome. Where's yours? Your plan's done. Great. Where's yours?
What about the soaring energy prices?
Let me finish this one and I'll go right to that. So, but what about New York State? Larry, what can you do in New York State? Why can't we build the Ellis Island here in New York State? Put it in the Bronx. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. Put it in the Bronx. Put a massive Ellis Island in the Bronx. Open up the land. It'll be built in 30 days. I'm not even joking. How do I know this will happen? Literally, businesses right now, the Microsofts of the world, the Oracles of the world, literally ship thousands of people all around the world all the time. Where's all the bombings? Where's all the murders? Where's all the trafficking? Doesn't exist. They figure it out somehow. Why? Because they're a professional private company and they make money on it. Of course they do. Put it in the Bronx. Any migrant coming into New York State goes to the Bronx. That's the rule. Put them in the Bronx. That's where they go. They'll get vetted. They get vetted, and then they go to the places where they need it for work. Done. But then, Larry, how are we gonna house them? That's the facility. It's literally a housing facility. It's literally a housing facility. That's what it's built for. It's a massive hotel that's built and paid for by somebody other than us, who will make money on the private market and make their money back. How do I know that? Recruiting business is a multi-billion-dollar business here in America already. The black market is a multi-billion-dollar business already in America. Just make it regular. Do it that way. Is it perfect? No. It is a Band-Aid, but it's a Band-Aid that works in 30 days. It's a Band-Aid, but it works in 30 days. But Larry, they just go to Pennsylvania and then they'll come to New York. Maybe, but then Pennsylvania is paying for their hotels, not us. This is the best part. If we get it, the federal government gives us money for all the migrants we take anyway, right? So we still get the money. But we don't have to pay anybody because the private company's taking care of it. So we still get the money. Yet again, my plan, we make money on it. Isn't that crazy? And you might say to yourself, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You wouldn't have to use the Bronx, just streaming and close Rikers.
Use Rikers. Yes, exactly. Yes. There we go. We got everything's there.
We could make money just by cutting down all those bars and recycle them. You don't get premium.
There we go. I love the idea. But my point being though, that's Governor's Island also works. Yes, you pick. And if you're going to fight me and go, Larry, I don't want the Bronx, I want Governor's Island, you know what I'll say? Good. Yes, you win. Let's do that. I'm in. I don't care who wins. I want us to win. You might say, Larry, that sounds pretty smart. You must be super smart. No, I just want to solve a problem. Am I the only guy who could figure this out? Of course not. Is it because I'm so super smart? No. Is it because I'm so good looking? Well, maybe I'm good looking, but it's not that. That isn't the reason. The reason is because I want to solve something and they don't. That's the key aspect I want to bring up. And I would ask you, is there anyone else saying anything about that or like that? They're not. They're not. You asked about energy prices. It's a big deal, 100%. So what are we doing right now? We're putting up more and more, if you see them all the time, the wind farms.
And solar, pumping money into
solar. Absolutely. And what's it doing for us right now? Not a thing. Not a thing. Not a thing. In fact, now we're getting rid of gas stoves and we just shut down a nuclear power plant.
I just had a $400 electric bill. And I live alone.
Yes, thank you. A $400 electric bill. Yeah, not working. Yes.
It's a billing issue.
I got to tell you what the biggest the issue we have to do, and it's going to make some of you unhappy, but it is the right answer. Number one issue, we have to go nuclear. We have to. It's the way to go. Some people don't like it, and if you don't like it, you're wrong. I'm sorry. You're wrong. It is the right answer. Nuclear now, particularly these new types, these Gen 4 types of nuclear energy, they cannot melt down. It is impossible to melt down. They don't melt down. Literally physically impossible. We put 3 of them in upstate New York, 3 of them in the North Country. 1 of them is used just to sell energy to other places. So you can put that money into a New York trust to help pay for education to cut property tax. Number one. Second one is used just for us, so we can lower our properties, for sure. Third one is used for business, for things like, believe it or not, blockchain mining. So we can bring blockchain mining safely and smartly into the North Country. Great jobs. We got jobs from nuclear energy, jobs from blockchain. We all of a sudden make the North Country of New York State, which is starving for non-government jobs, and we all of a sudden make it the jobs of the all private sector. Not just that, one more. And I'm back to my Bronx, put one more in the Bronx. Why you put one more in the Bronx? That one's for a very specific reason. Desalinization. Now, New York City isn't taking all the water from upstate anymore. Water comes directly from the Bronx into all New York City. Desalinization. Do that right away. You can do all this. And I would ask you, who would even bring this up? They don't. All they do is make things worse, worse, and worse. I'm giving you ideas. You don't like my ideas. Awesome. Then I have an idea. Let me on the ballot so I can get the debate stage. So while I'm on the debate stage, I can say this idea. I can have the Republican or Democrat give their idea. But they won't do that because they don't have one. There's no need to have one.
More solar.
Yeah, they'll go more solar, which is all being subsidized by the government. And worse, and this is the worst part about this whole idea. Not that I care, personally, whether there's a solar farm next to you or not, but they don't either. So if any of you have been part of this, solar or the wind farms, they do what's called what they call that the public conversation, right? Public comment. Yeah, they're public comment. So they come into the place and say, hey, we're thinking about putting solar panels over in this area over here. What do you guys think? They'll yell and go, no, we hate it. Solar panels suck. We don't want it. We're farmers. They go, thank you so much for the comment. And they put it in. That's what happens every time. You're saying, yeah, it's every time. Public comment is just me nodding my head at you. But I would like it to actually be that local people actually have control over their land. So if you want solar panels on your farm, awesome. Go ahead. It's your farm. I don't mind. Your farm. Do what you want. If you want the turbines on your plant, great. Put it on your land. Up to you. But if you don't, no. But we have, of course, the Empire Development Corporation, which is an embarrassment, which should go away tomorrow. That decides that people in Albany decide what goes into your backyard. And you have literally no say. Literally no say. But I'm saying local matters. If you want them, take them. If you don't, no. That's the issue. So, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just received the thing, there's a company to start up the environmental impact, because right now, all these solar panels and the original ones put in are failing.
Right.
And they're not disposing of them
You
properly.
can't dispose them properly, yes.
And
The wind turbines too.
the solar, the wind farms.
Yep.
They just had a collapse out in Ohio where two of them rotted out, and you've got this 150-foot tall or whatever thing coming crashing over.
Yes.
And these are the problems, once again, they never looked into.
They never bothered. Agreed.
There was a company that years ago, and what they did is they converted the old nuclear power plants into gas-fired power plants. And the neatest one was, I think, in France, because it sits on a gas field. So
Oh,
the gas comes down the ground,
there we go.
and you sit there and, because nuclear, the old nuclears are not clean.
Right, yes.
Stuff.
100%.
That
You're
was
correct.
But,
Old nuclear is bad. I agree. Gen 4 is good.
but ultimately, it comes down to, we can think, you know.
Yes. But my point is, there's no environment to do so. There's no need. This is going to sound crazy. Where did I come up with these policies? I have an actual policy team. My team meets almost once a month or sometimes more than that in that area to talk about these issues, to fix them. When I was running, it was once a week. Come up with policies. I go, well, great, Larry. That must mean the Democrat and Republican have that too. They don't. They literally don't have policy teams. They have communication teams. I'm not joking. They're not setting up policy. Why would they? It's how do I communicate how the other guy is evil? So they communicate other guy bad. That's what they do. They don't actually put the policy. And you look particularly in this state, but across the country. Republicans are the party of no ideas. Democrats are the party of bad ideas. That's all you got. No idea and bad idea. And some people say, well, why is the country going left? Well, because when you're in trouble and the only idea you have is a bad idea, you take the bad idea. So you do. Take the bad idea. If you're drowning and someone puts their hand out, you don't care whether it's a left hand, right hand, Democrat hand. You don't care. I'm taking the hand. picking it up. So when people are struggling, they take whatever idea is there. That's what's happening in the country right now. But we can't fix it. Thank you for that. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Did I answer yours?
Yes.
Awesome. Any other question or comment?
Yeah, 3 minutes, anybody?
No idea sounds a lot cheaper than bad idea.
If it is, yes, it is, yes. That's true, which is why a lot of people go that route, because it's like, okay, at least you hit the exact point. I call this the at least mindset, right? It's a mindset that says, well, at least it's not a Democrat, or at least it's not a Republican, or at least I'm not getting hurt worse, or at least I have this, at least I have that. That is what the elites want us thinking. They want us thinking, well, at least be happy. Take the elites don't get at least. The elites get the best of everything. They get top of the line everything. And they want us to believe, well, at least. You're right. It's a terrible thing that we go to. But sometimes when you're desperate, you'll take at least. I want us to be thinking differently.
A friend of mine pointed out that, and he struck me on that the American Democrat, the elitists, are doing what the Europeans did in the 70s. He said the mindset, it seems, in America today is, yeah, we know they did it 100 times and it failed every time, but this time.
This time's different, 100%. This is the real one. Exactly right. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it. I will see you guys all very soon. Thank you all so much. Thank you.